Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rackham graduate exercises. My name is Alan Liu. I'm an associate professor of mechanical engineering and chair of the Faculty Senate. On behalf of the entire faculty, I congratulate all of you graduating today. At this time, we ask that you all rise, if you're able, for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning. I'm Lori McCauley, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs. It's my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the 2023 graduate exercises at the University of Michigan. Let us thank Megan Warburton for her moving rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. As we begin, I want to recognize an important part of our history, a land transfer from the indigenous people of this area. The University of Michigan is located on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe people. In 1817, the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations made the largest single land transfer to the University of Michigan. This was offered ceremonially through the treaty at the foot of the rapids so that their children could be educated. Through these words of acknowledgement, their contemporary and ancestral ties to the land and their contributions to the university are renewed and reaffirmed. We're gathered today to celebrate the extraordinary accomplishments of today's graduates. This is a momentous occasion, one that marks the culmination of years of hard work and dedication. Today, we recognize the resilience and determination that has propelled our graduates through an especially challenging era to this moment of triumph. Bravo. As we celebrate this tremendous accomplishment, we must also celebrate the families, friends, and faculty mentors who were essential to these graduates' success. To all of those who offered their support, encouragement, and love during these graduates' journeys, thank you. To the graduates, I want to commend you for your commitment to academic excellence. You have demonstrated a level of dedication and passion that's truly inspiring. You've confronted promising hypotheses that evaporated with new evidence. You've analyzed data from every angle to find and realize that the confounding variable was your need for another cup of coffee. You've probably had questions about your work that mutated into questions about the purpose of your work. After spending hours, days, and weeks on a single concept, such questions can evolve at an exponential rate until you're questioning the purpose of higher education and perhaps life itself. And yet, you're here, side by side, with all those who struggled through the toughest questions and the most vexing problems. You found the answers, or at least worthy further questions, and you have a bright professional future ahead in which to ask them. You've pursued your studies with discipline and determination. You've made sacrifices. You've learned the meaning of epistemic humility. You've also learned about the responsibility that comes with your education. As you move forward in your careers, you will have the opportunity to make a difference in our world. You will have the power to shape the future, to innovate, and to create positive change. As you do so, I encourage you to resist the universal human tendency to seize ready answers and narratives that flatter or conform to your preconceptions. For the researcher, the social scientist, the engineer, and the artist, it's essential to build this critical instinct even as you deepen your expertise. As you embark on your future endeavors, I urge you to continue to seek out opportunities to learn from those who are different from you. By doing so, you will expand your horizons and deepen your own understanding of the world alongside the strides you will doubtlessly make in your chosen discipline. Again, we are so proud of you. We are eager and excited to see what you will accomplish in the years to come. As you push the boundaries of your vocations and forge a more resilient, thoughtful, and inclusive society, we'll be watching and cheering you on. Congratulations, graduates. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chair of the University of Michigan Board of Regents, Paul W. Brown of Ann Arbor. Regent Brown.
Thank you, Provost McCauley. On behalf of all of my colleagues on the Board of Regents, I'm thrilled to join you in this time of celebration. Today, we come together to celebrate all of you, your dedication, and your determination, and your dreams achieved, as you graduate from one of the top-ranked universities in the nation. As Regents, we are inspired by your many scholarly achievements and honored to share in this moment with you, and especially with your family and friends, who are also very justifiably proud of your accomplishments. Your world-class education from Michigan has given you the foundation to excel personally and professionally, no matter what career path you choose. Your interactions with faculty and fellow students from around the world have broadened your perspective on life and equipped you to excel in our increasingly diverse world. Today, you join one of the largest and most influential alumni networks in the world. We hope that you, like thousands of Michigan grads before, will return to campus to visit often. Wherever you go, remember that we are extremely, extremely proud of you and wish you the very best. So congratulations, class of 2023. And now I'm pleased to introduce Michael Solomon, Dean of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies and Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Graduate Student Studies, and our 15th President of the University of Michigan, President Santa Ono.
Good morning, and thank you, Regent Brown. We will now proceed with the conferral of degrees. Later in the program, we will invite today's graduates to come forward and be greeted. Mr. President, I have the honor on behalf of the faculties of the university and the executive board of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies to present candidates to you for the various master's and certificate degrees and to recommend them for the degrees named. Will the candidates for the degrees please rise if they are able and remain standing as their degrees are named? First, Master of Arts. Master of Design. Master of Fine Arts. Masters of Landscape Architecture. Remain standing. Master of Public Administration. Master of Public Policy. Master of Science. Master of Science and Engineering. Master of Urban and Regional Planning. Certificate of Graduate Studies. Master's candidates, please remain standing. Next, we recognize the recipients of doctoral degrees awarded by the university. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies please rise if they are able and remain standing as their degrees are named. Doctor of Musical Arts. Doctor of Philosophy. Mr. President, I have the honor on behalf of the Executive Board of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies to present these candidates to you and recommend them for the degrees named.
Thank you very much, Michael. By the authority of the state of Michigan, vested in the regents of this university, and by them delegated to me, we shall now confer the degrees which have been recommended by the faculties. I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been nominated, admitting you to its rights, honors, and privileges, and charging you with its responsibilities. Congratulations on your accomplishments. Let's hear it for them.
Thank you, President Ono. You may now all please be seated. I am now delighted to introduce to you award-winning poet who is graduating today with a Master of Fine Arts from the Helen Zell Writers Program within the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts. Sarah Boo Rashed uses poetry and performance to tell her stories. Her work captures the complexity of exile and home. She's also a public speaker on diversity, women's leadership, and social justice. Sarah, we look forward to your remarks.
Thank you so much, Dean Solomon, for your introduction. Hello, everyone, and the biggest congratulations to us, class of 2023. And our many thanks for our parents, loved ones, faculty, advisors, staff, and extended Wolverine family. It is truly special that this is a ceremony for us graduate students alone, determined, or maybe foolish students, who decided to endure longer and stitch our degrees by hand. From our earliest interests to what would become the obsessions of our personal and scholarly lives, we are gathered today to celebrate not what the world has given us, but what we've chosen and made for ourselves. I cannot begin to describe the joy I feel whenever I say I'm a poet, that I get to study, write, teach poetry at one of the top universities in the world. Poetry to me is how one witnesses life itself. Exactly 10 years ago, the war in Syria was just starting, and my teenage self wrestled with what's in front of her. I was 13 and moved with my family to the United States. I was afraid to start somewhere new. I had lost my home, my father, and grief was abundant. And still, I wanted so much more out of life. I wanted, most of all, to make myself and my mother proud. Shout out to her. I had always had a voice. It was when I decided not to surrender to what I was given that I began to use it. In the face of fear, my mother would say, "If you don't do this, somebody braver will." And that became my motto. I learned English by translating my textbooks and started writing poetry in it. I felt loss with what's life-giving, community, friendship, beauty, and slowly, grief turned fulfillment for knowing who I am and what my purpose is in the world, and who I choose to be. I write because I must, and I write because I can. Today, as we celebrate the parts of us we made and those we've inherited, I hope we celebrate too the hardships along the way and our ability to transform them. Every move in my family story has been an escape, from Palestine to Syria to the US, but my move to Michigan was out of love, full of tears, yet empowering. Suddenly, I became a teacher, and it was my role to instill in students the belief that they could be anything they aspire to, that they could stand for anything they believe in. I thank you all and the University of Michigan for being the best community one could ask for. Maybe not the nicest for an Ohioan like myself, but certainly the most memorable. And to my fellow graduates and anyone who needs reminding how powerful they are, I congratulate you all and offer you this original poem. Say it. I am full of myself, and I keep my head raised as if the collars of my shirts are made of blades. Say it. I was born with a crown, a blessed name, and ears that ring only to celebration bells. Say it. I march like I have never in my life bent to the ground. Say it. We all have mountains to climb, and my mother bribed God. He made mine of chocolate and foam. Say it. After me, as I every night say it when the world grows a tumor under my skin, empties all my cups, punctures me whole, and over I must begin from the top. Say it, I am full of myself. Today's celebration is incomplete without acknowledging my fellow students, my fellow graduates, students, and GSIs. So now, it's my honor to introduce the man I believe will get us our paychecks back and get the strike resolved equitably. I am pleased to introduce to you the 15th president of the University of Michigan, Santa J. Ono. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, Sarah, for those courageous and inspiring words. Congratulations to you all for everything that you have accomplished. Sarah, your story really is quite amazing, and I'm so happy you were able to share it with us today. When I look onto the audience today, I see so many amazing stories unfolding. Stories of poets like Sarah, stories of engineers and social scientists, professors and artists, attorneys and medical professionals. At a deeper level, the stories are about so much more. They're about thinkers, innovators, mold breakers, and change makers. They are the stories of the leaders of the future. You have all reached the end of an extraordinary chapter in your lives, and you stand on the verge of a new and exciting one, full of possibility and potential. Congratulations to you all. The hard work, long hours of research, and far too many cups of coffee, and perhaps bubble tea, have paid off. Today, you have earned an achievement that will last a lifetime, an advanced degree from one of the finest universities in the world. Earning an advanced degree from the University of Michigan is a challenge of excellence, brilliance, and relentlessness. You have made it, not just you, the people who you turned to when the times were tough, when the results just didn't fit in if you're doing experimental work, and when your degree sometimes seemed so far away. So I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge everyone in the audience who is not receiving a degree today, but were very important in getting you to where you are today. The mothers, the fathers, the spouses, and the partners, the dear friends, the children, let's hear it for them. Each of you is here because you care very much for someone whose journey is now complete. I can tell you from my own experience how much your love and support of them inspired them and means so much to them. I guarantee there were long days and long nights when a call from you or a text from you or a thought of coming home to you was the essential motivation they needed. I hope that you feel a deep sense of accomplishment and satisfaction in sharing their incredible achievement. In that regard, I want to recognize the University of Michigan faculty who are here this morning. Let's hear it for the faculty of the university. We have outstanding teachers at this institution, and your success is their success. So this is a day of great pride for our faculty as well. When you reach a milestone in your education or your career like the one that you've reached today, it's only natural to look back on the experiences that helped shape you, helped you grow. My hope is that the University of Michigan was a place that not only challenged your intellect, but expanded your worldview through your scholarship, enriched your soul through your connections with the faculty and your classmates, who made you an even better person. That was my experience when I was a graduate student at McGill University in Montreal. I wanted to return to Canada, and because McGill was at the time and still is an outstanding institution for biomedical research, I was thrilled to be admitted to the experimental medicine program for a PhD, where I felt like a kid in a candy store, working shoulder to shoulder with faculty who were cutting-edge experts in the field. While I fondly remember the work in education during those years, I also remember the softball games with faculty, chamber music with faculty members and fellow students, even members of the Conservatory of Music, and of course, long discussions and debates I get into with my peers. It was the people of my graduate school that I remember the most. And to this day, I remain close to many of them, and I hope that's true for you as well, wherever you might go. I'd like to share one example. When I arrived at McGill, I worked in a research lab focusing on the genetics of type 1 or juvenile diabetes, with a team that included a young woman studying in her final year as an undergraduate. After so many long days in the lab, we soon realized we had a lot in common. We were both the children of immigrants. We both enjoyed listening and playing the classical music. I tried to play the cello, and she tried to play the piano. And of course, like most young people, we shared a deep, unbridled passion for understanding and making a transformative, hopefully, contribution to understanding this terrible disease. And we focused on trying to identify where the disease susceptibility genes might lie. And we found that they resided in a small part of chromosome 6, where a set of genes called the major histocompatibility complex reside. By the time I left McGill, I had a doctorate and a wife. And Wendy and I have been married now for 33 years, and I owe everything to her. I'm sure that's the same story for some of you as well. What you've learned over these years at the University of Michigan, the people that you've met, the experiences that you've had, they've prepared you for what comes next, a life of the mind. The expertise that you bring to your fields will increasingly be essential as our society and our world faces the challenges of today and tomorrow. It will be medical professionals and public health experts who will guide us through the waning days of the COVID pandemic and ensure that we are better prepared for pandemics to come. It will be climate scientists and public policy experts and engineers and others who will continue our critical work in sustainability, reducing greenhouse gas emissions and addressing the climate emergency. It will be sociologists and historians and social workers and educators who will give voice to historically marginalized communities and advance relations across lines of difference so that we live together in peace in a more diverse and just and equitable society. And yes, it will be you, the artists, poets like Sarah, who will use their talents to help us find meaning in the wonderful and the most challenging experiences, just like she said in her poem. It is now your world and ours to serve, to shape, to transform. So congratulations on behalf of all of the board members, Board of Regents of this institution, all the faculty members, all of the alumni, all of the staff, your fellow students and friends, congratulations to you. Now, it is now my distinct honor to introduce your commencement speaker, a person whose legacy of achievement, leadership, and service on behalf of the University of Michigan is unmatched. That person is none other than President Mary Sue Coleman. Let's hear it for her. President Emerita of the University of Michigan and former president of the Association of American Universities, which represents the country's leading research universities. She is the first woman to lead this university. As the 13th president, she considered not only one of the most successful leaders, but also is beloved by our community. A biochemist by training, her research advanced understanding of immune systems and malignancies. She was president of the University of Iowa from 1995 to 2002, president of the University of Michigan from 2002 to 2014, and once again in 2022. When I stepped into this role last year, President Coleman was a tremendous support to me, becoming not only a respected colleague, but a good friend. Mary Sue, thank you again for your kindness, your mentorship, and your guidance. While serving as president at University of Michigan, she navigated the university through the nation's worst financial crisis in 50 years, expanding the entire enterprise, research, teaching, alumni relations, adding to the facilities and the overall financial health of the university. As a result, in 2009, Time magazine named her one of the nation's 10 best university presidents. Some of the accomplishments, just some of the few accomplishments during her tenure include founding the North Campus Research Complex, where many of you have carried out your research, establishing the University Research Corridor, a research partnership between the University of Michigan, Michigan State, and Wayne State universities, investing $650 million in residential hall upgrades, launching the Interdisciplinary Junior Faculty Initiative to hire 100 tenure-track junior faculty in key areas. By any measure, the University of Michigan is a stronger, more vibrant institution because of President Coleman's leadership. Today, we are honored to welcome her back to campus, back home. President Coleman, Dr. Mary Sue, I invite you to address our graduates. Let's give her a round of applause.
I have to have my little step so that I can really see you. Thanks, President Ono, for the special honor of being part of this program. It is really a privilege for me to address this outstanding class of graduates. By my count, this is my 40th Michigan graduation, whether in winter or spring. But it's my very first as the commencement speaker. And thank you to the Board of Regents for presenting me with an honorary degree. I'm also looking forward to being at tomorrow's ceremony at Michigan Stadium. When it ends, I will have a special bond with our graduates. We will all be Michigan alumni. You and I, of course, share other common threads. The experience of earning a graduate degree at a great research university is unique. My time as a doctoral student at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill helped set the course of my career. I learned the values of persistence in the face of occasional failure, experimentation, curiosity, and what I could learn from my fellow student colleagues. I made lifelong friends, and I came to appreciate the support of faculty mentors. I know Michigan has done the same for you. For all these commonalities, though, the most significant differences separating us pertain to time. I received my PhD in 1969. Richard Nixon was President of the United States. There were no cell phones, no electric vehicles, no Zoom. As prehistoric as that may sound, the time separating us has actually provided me with some extraordinary experiences. So, I'd like to take some of your time to share 2 moments I faced over the last 50 years and the lessons they provided. My first faculty appointment was at the University of Kentucky, where I taught biochemistry and conducted research into leukemia and other blood diseases. My husband, Ken, was also on the faculty in the political science department. We had a young son and a lovely home in Michigan. Life was good. My world began to change when I was asked to serve on a committee studying the future of the university as our longtime president entered his last year. Shortly after that report was issued, unexpected changes in the university's cancer center led to my being asked to serve as associate director for research. I could have declined these assignments as a busy faculty member, saying I needed to focus on the progress of my lab. Biochemistry, as many of you know, is a very demanding profession. There are setbacks and obstacles on the way to whatever successes eventually occur. But being research director exposed me to many different aspects of addressing cancer, including social sciences and even the arts and humanities. I've never regretted these experiences. I've never regretted saying yes to these unexpected duties and the experiences they afforded. I may have published less, but I learned more. I came to see my institution from new perspectives, not just through the lens of my discipline, but through a wider array of university purposes and missions. Eventually, and surely in part because of that exposure to the full extent of the university, I was elected a faculty trustee of the University of Kentucky. I saw the institution from an even wider perspective, including how higher education is inescapably embedded in a larger political and legal environment. All of these experiences happened because I said yes to that first invitation to, just a second, my video has gone silent here. But all these experiences happened because I said yes to that first invitation to participate in an exercise that took me out of my comfort zone. After all, I was a biochemist, not an expert in the arts, humanities, social sciences, or other fields of a comprehensive public university. But saying yes took me in unexpected directions. Now let's jump ahead several decades to 2022. My husband, Ken, and I are retired with a lovely home in Denver. Our son and daughter-in-law and our 2 grandchildren live nearby. Life is good. On a January morning, I receive a call from Jordan Acker, then chair of the Board of Regents. He has an urgent request. The university is facing a leadership crisis. Would I consider returning as president? Mind you, I took the call while I was navigating an unfamiliar parking structure in Denver. Reviving my role as president was the last thing on my mind. But I needed little persuading about returning to a place where earlier I had served for 12 years. If the university's governing board said they needed me, I took them seriously. I said yes. I said yes because the University of Michigan matters to me. It matters to the world. I love Michigan and always want it to succeed because of its essential role in society, including the preparation of exceptional graduate students whose studies have prepared them for our highly complex world. Those 9 months back in Ann Arbor solidified and affirmed my belief in what a spectacular university Michigan is. I'm sharing these episodes not in the hope that you'll aspire to become a university president. Rather, I share these because institutions matter. And if we find ourselves in institutions and organizations that we hold in esteem, they deserve our best efforts, even if we don't yet know all we need to know to be helpful. So my message is, say yes and contribute to what matters most to you. For me, higher education matters, particularly great research universities like Michigan. No other country has such a vibrant and essential higher learning system that shapes the future with its knowledge, discoveries, and graduates. What issues are important to you may differ. Maybe it's the environment and how to reverse climate change. Perhaps you're driven by racial justice concerns and the need for greater social equity. Maybe strong public schools will be your priority, or healthy communities, or sensible gun laws. A vibrant, caring society is a reflection of who steps forward. Use your voice and your intellect to improve our world. This is a challenging time to express opinions. Values and beliefs are under attack from all points of the political spectrum. But Michigan has prepared you for this. Your advanced degree signals your attention to detail, persistence, dependability, and capacity for independent thinking. You know how to deploy both facts and analysis on behalf of values that you hold dear. Use all of this to advocate for what you love. To quote Maya Angelou, "Nothing will work unless you do." Graduates, you possess a Michigan education. Use it to make an impact. Say yes and make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman. You continue to amaze and inspire us. Next, I would like to welcome to the stage the Cirrus Quartet, composed of School of Music, Theater, and Dance students Roberto Campa, Samuel Deshawn, Kyle Cato, and Laura Ramsey. They'll perform Holberg Suite Movements 1 and 5 by Edvard Grieg. Please enjoy. That was beautiful. Let's have another round of applause. Next, I would like to introduce our second student speaker, Michael Gonzalez. Michael is one of the university's first PhD students to graduate from the College of Engineering's new robotics department. Through his research, he's exploring how individuals with amputation can benefit from sensation through the use of prosthetic limbs. For example, Michael developed a virtual reality interface that allows amputees to control a virtual hand and feel virtual objects. Michael, we're all eager to hear your remarks.
Thank you, Provost Macaulay, for that gracious introduction, and thank you everyone who is here today, from students to faculty advisors that have sort of guided us through this process, to the loved ones here and the loved ones watching at home. Today we graduate. We walk across this stage and we hear our name called. Some of us have the opportunity to see our advisors dress up in fancy robes and dress in fancy robes ourselves. But what makes this graduation so special? We've been through a lot of them. For myself and many others, most of our life was laid out for us. There were elementary school and middle school and high school, and a lot of us were expected to go to undergrad as well. But these days, as my mechanical engineering undergrad came to a close, I realized, well, the world really opened up. I could do anything. I could explore different industries, go into consulting, I could work at a startup, or I could go back to school. But this time, it wouldn't be because I was told to, or expected to, or because I was supposed to. I could go to school because I wanted to. I could learn for the sake of learning. I could develop skills and explore new and interesting questions, and do that alongside people who chose to do that too. Starting my PhD was the first time I felt like I really got to chart my own path. Not only did I choose to do it, but the nature of research is that there are no hard and true paths forward. You have to choose what you're interested in, choose what questions to pursue, choose your methodologies and your analyses, and choose when to let those go. Often you're not studying to pass a test, but studying to crack a problem, to understand a confusing result, or to understand how your work fits into a grander context. As a PhD student, I've spent the last 5 years making these sorts of choices. I've spent them learning, struggling, growing. I've also met many master's students who have come and gone, engaging in the community here at the University of Michigan and gaining skills and connections and enriching that community before they head off to pursue a career. And I can only really speak for the robotics and the kinesiology departments, but the sense of collaboration and community here at the University of Michigan is astounding to me. Everyone I talk to is excited to share their work, is invested in pushing boundaries, and is dedicated to progress and inquiry. They care, and I think that's because they chose to be here. I can't know what the future has in store. None of us can know that. But walking across this stage means that you can chart your own course. You can weather the storms along the way, and you can arrive at brighter shores on the other side. So congratulations to all the graduates and their families and advisors and that whole support network that makes this whole thing happen. And here's to the next voyage. Go Blue. And now I am pleased to introduce Michael Solomon, Dean of the Horace H. Rackham School of Graduate Studies and Vice Provost for Academic Affairs Graduate Studies.
Thank you very much, Michael. It is my pleasure on behalf of the Rackham School of Graduate Studies to offer some brief remarks. As a result of the achievements we are here to celebrate today, you will soon receive one of the most important pieces of paper that you have earned in your life. It's an exciting feeling, and I can relate because it was more than 25 years ago that I received one of the most important pieces of paper in mine. And I'm, of course, talking about a random piece of mail that came from Australia. I was finishing my doctoral work and running out of time to apply for a postdoctoral research position when one day my lab mate approached me holding a letter from the University of Melbourne and saying, "Hey, Mike, you could change your life. Move to a new continent." He was joking, but the very serious truth was that I did not have a job. And the more I looked into it, I realized that there was someone, a faculty member at Melbourne, working in the field in which I'd done my PhD, as well as in a new field toward which I wanted to move towards in my career. A couple months later, and just 3 days after I turned in my dissertation in Berkeley, California, I got on a plane. 22 hours after that, I stepped out of the airport on another continent in another hemisphere, facing unfamiliar territory in every sense of the phrase. There were some immediate challenges. For one, this is a bummer, I now have an extra winter in my life due to the fact that I decided to move across the equator in March rather than September. For another, I somehow had the hardest time to explain to the people at the hotel where I initially lived that there were no spatulas or tongs in my kitchenette, and how was I going to cook dinner? They did not use the word kitchen utensils in Australia. It turns out that the right word in Australia is cutlery. The answer is cutlery. There were greater and much more significant challenges as well. It was a time of uncertainty, confusion, and self-doubt, but also one of excitement and growth. And although the outcome of my postdoc was not at all like I originally expected, I do know that I would not be here right now without that experience and a mentor a world away with whom I was fortunate enough to work. Now, I don't mention all this for you to illustrate that I was particularly brave about things back then, and seriously, I was terrified. And I don't mention it to encourage you to go globetrotting to parts unknown, where you will find yourself cooking only with your hands in a strange hotel. I mention it because taking risks and navigating the unknown can benefit us in ways that we can never imagine. I mention it to reinforce the idea that I'm still on my journey, just like everyone on this stage is still on theirs, and just like the faculty, the friends, the family who are here today and who have offered you their invaluable support and encouragement and mentorship are continually shaping their own stories. You, as holders of advanced degrees from this university, are uniquely equipped to shape your own path forward, to step out into new fields, to even create new fields, and launch into directions that will carry you farther than any trans-Pacific flight could. You have unsurpassed depth of knowledge in your specialty. You are experts in its latest methods. We know from our own research that you will bring your training and your expertise to bear on an expanded set of career pathways compared to those who came a generation before you. Your paths and what you will accomplish are undetermined. There are so many different ways in which your work and your scholarship can ultimately impact the public good. When the Rackham Graduate School was created, one of its main aims was to bring together individuals from different disciplines. In fact, it was the specific reason that the Rackham building was constructed. It was a home for graduate students. It was understood that there was much to be learned by reaching out across disciplines, from exposing ourselves to the unfamiliar, and from opening ourselves to new possibility. As you go out from Michigan today, I encourage you to continue to embrace those ideas, to carry them forward, and to continually find inspiration in the unexpected. Because really, that inspiration is what can change your life. Congratulations, graduates. It is now my very great pleasure to recognize the achievements of our graduates. We first will invite master's degree candidates to come forward and to be greeted. Marshals will escort you.
Congratulations to all of our master's degree recipients. Let's hear it for them. Now we recognize individually the recipients of doctoral degrees awarded by the university. I invite you to notice the various disciplines represented as the degree recipients are introduced. You will receive a remarkable insight into the diversity, excellence, and breadth of the intellectual and creative mission carried forth at the University of Michigan. In consideration of those seated behind you, please return to your seats until you are conducted to the platform, where you will be hooded and introduced.
Marshals will escort the doctoral recipients to the podium. Doctoral degrees are the highest awarded by the university. We now come to the hooding of doctoral degree recipients, recognizing them individually. The ritual of receiving the doctoral hood is part of a historical tradition that began with the earliest foundation of European universities. Hooding has been a central feature of commencement exercises since the 12th century, when popes, kings, or emperors authorized the conferral of the doctoral hood. They were certifying that the recipients were master teachers who had earned us ubique docenti, the right to teach anywhere. Each doctoral graduate has undertaken original scholarship in the completion of a dissertation, guided by a faculty member who chaired the student's dissertation committee. Many of these dissertation chairs are with us today and will personally hood their students, welcoming them in to the community of scholars. Their names will be called as they are invited up to be draped with the hood, completing their doctoral academic regalia. The colors on the hoods identify first the university attended and second the academic field studied. University of Michigan's colors, maize and azure blue, can be seen on the lining of the hoods the doctoral candidates wear today. The color of the hood velvet indicates the field of study, and these colors can be identified in the list of academic colors in the program. The hooding will now begin.
Give me the card, please. Hannah Grace Abraham, Medical Scientist Training Program. Zara Afkamu, Mechanical Engineering. Harsh Agarwal, Chemical Engineering. Taeyong An, Macromolecular Science and Engineering. Marissa Akins, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Abdul Rahman Aljurbua, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Rawan Al-Malahi, Chemical Engineering. Yun Hye An, Mechanical Engineering. Brady Anderson, Chemistry. Laura Andre, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Joshua Anibal, aerospace engineering. Farzad Asgharian, electrical and computer engineering. Felice May Arines, molecular, cellular, and developmental biology. Elham Asghari Adib, molecular, cellular, and developmental biology. Mahmoud Azm, computer science and engineering. Christian Paul Bara, computer science and engineering. Patrick Barnes, physics. Jorge Becerra, chemical biology. Bethany Beakley, neuroscience. Colleen Buscher, performance voice. Selena Beverly, higher education. Kostov Badra, mechanical engineering. Adarsh Bott, chemical engineering. Shantonio Birch, mechanical engineering. Mitchell Black, aerospace engineering. Catherine Perry Blumstein, psychology. Karen Alexandra Butt, mathematics. Elizabeth Callison, naval architecture and marine engineering. Stephen Carney, cancer biology. Sofia Carrera, psychology. Brandon Carter, materials science and engineering. Attilio Castano, mathematics. Christopher Castro, bioinformatics. Peter Cerda, ecology and evolution biology. Brian Ceballos Fuji, economics. Christine Chalifou, anthropology. Chun-Yu Chen, computer science and engineering. Chao-Sin Chen, clinical pharmacy translational sciences. Lily Chen, electrical and computer engineering. Mo Chen, chemistry. Po Ju Chen, molecular, cellular, and developmental biology. Yu Chen, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Ziyuan Chen, Biophysics. Lon Chong, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Randy Cheng, Material Science and Engineering. Jongyong Choi, Mechanical Engineering. Glenn Chow, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Shahana Ahmed Chumki, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Sokyung Chung, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Joseph Cohen, Mechanical Engineering. Shara Cohen, Classical Art and Archaeology. James Collar, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering. Isabel Colon Bernal, Chemistry. Madeline Carmen Cook, Earth and Environmental Science. Miranda Kozman, Anthropology. Alexandra Crayola, Classical Art and Archaeology. Elizabeth Crowther, Earth and Environmental Science. Ana Sofia Cruz Bento, English and Women's Studies. Koi Dong, Chemistry. Amy Dawson Ando, Communication Studies. Patricia DeLacy, Psychology. Min Deng, Civil Engineering. Luc Derouse, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Gloria Diaz, Chemistry. Bradley Dirks, Mathematics. Robert Doherty, Neuroscience. Michael Dominguez, Applied Physics. Weiqi Do, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Charles Eckert, Computer Science and Engineering. Belkis El Hadi, American Culture. Rachel Elias, Chemical Engineering. Jacques Esterhuizen, Chemical Engineering. Siying Fong, Computer Science and Engineering. Johanna Fleischman, Molecular and Integrative Physiology. Christian Anthony Flores Carreras, Civil Engineering. Mario Gaviria, Chemistry. Shanice Forte, Scientific Computing. Elspeth Geiger, Anthropology. Merivet George de la Rosa, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Rohan Guge, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Isabelle Gillet, History of Art. Jun Jin, Natural Resources and Environment. Austin Glass, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. Pavel Godfrey, English Language and Literature. Ikai Gong, Robotics. Michael Gonzalez, Robotics. Vidushi Goyal, Computer Science and Engineering. Joshua Greenberg, Medical Scientist Training Program. Jeffrey Grimm, Higher Education. Joseph Grohl, Mechanical Engineering. Quan Han, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Taihun Han, Mechanical Engineering. Yiling Han, Chemistry. Yuyan Han, Psychology. Nicholas George Hartman, Biostatistics. Christina Harvey, Aerospace Engineering. Maura Harwood, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Kevin Hong, Aerospace Engineering. Michael Helton, Applied Physics. Aidan Herdershey, Physics. Tamaray Hildebrand, Linguistics. Alexander Hill, Chemical Engineering. Nadira Hill, Classical Art and Archaeology. Rebecca Hickson, English Language and Literature. Hannah Hong, Immunology. James Hotchkiss, mathematics. Shangyu David Hu, molecular, cellular, and pathology. Xingtuo Hu, computer science and engineering. Jesse Watring, medicinal chemistry. Sunen Huang, computer science and engineering. Valentina Igenebai, chemical engineering. Juana Ignat, computer science and engineering. Daniel Yong, statistics. Mohsen Jafari, electrical engineering. Fatima Javed, cell and developmental biology. Theodore Gennaro, clinical pharmacy translational sciences. Jaesung Jo, electrical and computer engineering. Joshua Kamarad, chemistry. Stephanie Carroll, public policy and economics. Rafael Kartsoukas, statistics. Kucharun Kaur, biomedical engineering. Mohammed Kazemi, aerospace engineering. Rex Jang, ecology and evolution biology. Sean Thomas Kelly, mechanical engineering. Taslima Ghani Khan, chemical biology. Hyong Kim, higher education. Jin-hee Kim, chemistry. Suji Kim, higher education. Emily Mikowski, pharmaceutical sciences. Emily Margolis, biomedical engineering. Larissa Marquardt, astronomy and astrophysics. Jesse Martinez, molecular, cellular, and developmental biology. Brooke Mason, civil engineering. Mariana Masterling Pereira, biomedical engineering. Mark McCann, clinical pharmacy translational sciences. Haley McCurry, history. Connor McLaughlin, chemical engineering. Sean McSherry, chemical engineering. Ashley Schultz, cellular and molecular biology. Mackenzie Meyer, applied physics. Jess Miller, bioinformatics. Payam Mirshams Shashani, medical engineering. Mechanical engineering. All right. Andrew Mose, English and Education. Katie Moog, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Allison Municky, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Negin Nadvar, Biomedical Engineering. Sierra Nance, Molecular and Integrative Physiology. Deepika Naturajan, Computer Science and Engineering. Amanda Ndao, Romance Languages, Literature, Spanish. Tsilam Natalie Ngai, Communication Studies. Nguyen Minh Hoang, Aerospace Engineering. Minha No, Sociology. Daniel Felipe Otero Leon, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Warren Pan, Medical Scientist Training Program. David Papano, Anthropology. Juan Paredes, Aerospace Engineering. Juan Park, Computer Science and Engineering. Christine Parson, Chemistry. Annika Patanod, English Language and Literature. Nora Yujia Payne, Statistics. Mert Dieter Peze, Computer Science and Engineering. Karsten Peterson, Mathematics. Chelsea Phillips, Neuroscience. Deepika Mohan, Medical Scientist Training Program. Nima Moseini, Aerospace Engineering. Stephanie Hain Kim, Immunology. Ravinun Pillai, Mechanical Engineering. Malia Piper, Classical Studies. Edward L. Platt, Information. Kamaria Porter, Higher Education. Thomas Henry Pospich, Jr., Chemical Biology. Suprej Prakash, Aerospace Engineering. Anthony Provenzano, Health Infrastructures and Learning Systems. Torben Leonard Poers, Physics. Shriti Raj, Information. Elizabeth Reese, English Language and Literature. Danielle Richards, Chemical Engineering. Anil Meron, Political Science. Menglu Rao, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Madhan Ravi Ganesh, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Allison Rittershouse, Classical Art and Archaeology. Maria Alejandra Rodriguez Mustafa, Earth and Environmental Science. Ilka Rodriguez Calero, Design Science. Carolina Rojas Ramirez, Chemistry. Ryan Rosario, Mechanical Engineering. Brandon Russell, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Divya Sanghi, Aerospace Engineering. Tuba Sarwar, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Kara Sahud, Material Science and Engineering. Bernadette Snyder, Chemistry. Ashley Schubert, Anthropology. Sharmi Sen, Anthropology. Candy Serrano Zayas, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Benjamin Setterholm, Astronomy and Astrophysics. Prashin Santosh Sharma, Robotics. Liujing Shen, Physics. Yuning Shen, Medicinal Chemistry. Yihui Shang, Asian Languages and Cultures. Kevin Silva, Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering. Mary Silva Garza, Mary Elizabeth Silva Garza, Performance French Horn. Taylor Sims, History. Anshul Singhal, Materials Science and Engineering. Kendon Smith, English and Education. Hojun Son, Biomedical Engineering. Jia Song, Computer Science and Engineering. Marisa Spada, Film, Television and Media. Grayson Stocker, Biomedical Engineering. Anna Stuhlmacher, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Anand Raj Sukumaran, Music Education. David Sweeney, Space Sciences and Engineering. Brian Michael Swigger, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. James Tan, Chemical Engineering. V. Tang, Molecular and Integrative Physiology. Katie Nicole Thomas, Nuclear Engineering and Radiological Sciences. Ursula Trigos Rakowski, Applied and Interdisciplinary Mathematics. Matthew Vedrin, Environmental Engineering. Andrea Ventola, Civil Engineering. Alejandro Vigo Camargo, Industrial and Operations Engineering. Leanne Wang, Chemistry. Xi Wang, Civil Engineering. Xiaowei Wang, Computer Science and Engineering. Xinpeng Wang, Mechanical Engineering. Nicholas Watercole, Mathematics. Yifan Wen, Mechanical Engineering. Christopher Wentland, Aerospace Engineering. Matthew Whittlesey, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Neil Wu, Aerospace Engineering. Nadab Wubshut, Mechanical Engineering. Luanwan Shang, Political Science. Haichin Xu, Ecology and Evolution Biology. Yishu Xu, Chemistry. Benjamin Yang, Biomedical Engineering. Anil Yildirim, Aerospace Engineering. Kwang Hee Yo, Mechanical Engineering. Jia Yu, Computer Science and Engineering. Kelly Yong, Medicinal Scientist Training Program. Minji Yu, Pharmaceutical Sciences. Peifong Yu, Computer Science and Engineering. Qinggang Yu, Psychology. Nina Zabihi, Civil Engineering. Xin Tsen, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Boya Zhang, Epidemiological Science. Shurui Zhang, Civil Engineering. Yuhan Zhang, Biomedical Engineering. Cui Zhang, Computer Science and Engineering. Xiyan Zhao, Information. Muru Zhou, Macromolecular Science and Engineering. Christine Ann Ziegler, Biological Chemistry. Bradley Zikowski, Mathematics. Jacqueline LaRouche, Biomedical Engineering. Amy Langhorst, Material Science and Engineering. Stephen Langelotti, Nuclear Engineering and Radiological Sciences. Emily Lamond, Greek and Roman History. Esther Lodkow, History. Prince Quavor, Robotics. Jillian Kuzel, Performance, Oboe. Luke Corley, Physics. Bumsor Ku, Biomedical Engineering. Jackie Kleinsasser, Earth and Environmental Science. Patrick Kinnunen, Chemical Engineering. Jisung Kim, Linguistics. Alan Gorchov-Negron, Climate and Space Sciences and Engineering. Kwesi Rutledge, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Christopher Tossas, Biomedical Engineering. Nishil Talati, Computer Sciences and Engineering. Shivam Barwe, Aerospace Engineering. Harry Liu, Physics. Charles Liu, Biomedical Engineering. Thales Love, Communication Studies. Joshua Lott, Pharmacology. Jixuan Liu, Robotics. Elaine Anna Liu, Cellular and Molecular Biology. Ryan Lindveit, Music Composition. Yuanji Li, Statistics. Stefan Lehmer, Robotics. Ung-hee Lee, Mechanical Engineering. Seung-Jon Lee, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Hyun-Jong Lee, Computer Science and Engineering. Connie Lee, Mechanical Engineering. Christina Lee, Biomedical Engineering. Can't hear you. Elizabeth McLean, Musicology, History.
Will all of the graduates and candidates presented today please rise? Will the regents remain standing? Deans and officers, the faculty, and all others on the platform, please rise. Will all of the family members and invited guests who share in the recognition of these candidates presented today please rise? It is our privilege to now welcome these new graduates to our community of scholars. We look forward to benefiting from the contributions your education has prepared you to make in our worlds. One more time, congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce Alumni Association of the University of Michigan board member, Celine Hitchcock-Gear. Let's hear it for Celine.
On behalf of the Alumni Association, it is my honor to this distinguished class of 2023, congratulations and welcome. We are delighted to count you all as official members of the alumni family. You are now part of a network of 659,000 plus alums in 180 countries around the world. The degrees you now hold will no doubt unlock opportunities and adventures that will take you to new places and bring you remarkable experiences. Yet no matter where you go, there is one place you can now always call home, and that's the University of Michigan. I came here many years ago from nearby Detroit. Back then, just an hour from home seemed so far away, but I graduated and moved away and found that the world is indeed a very big place. Yet no matter where I go or what I have done, this university holds a very special place in my heart. It is home for me, and so we are family. I hope as you leave here today, you share that experience. As your unique journey begins, remember that your new family has much to offer. The Alumni Association will help you stay connected with access to over 150 local clubs, athletic events, career resources like webinars and career coaches, and so much more. And as a graduation gift, we are giving each of you a complimentary one-year membership to our organization so that so many of you can access these benefits. But most of all today, we offer our congratulations and say, well done. You are indeed the leaders and the best, and we await with great anticipation all the positive impact you will bring to the world. So as always, go blue.
Following the singing of the yellow and blue, you're cordially invited to a reception honoring our graduates, their family, and friends. The reception will be outside on Ingalls Mall. We look forward to seeing you there. Now, please join us in singing the university's alma mater, the yellow and blue.